There we go.
Look, well, Minoska's gonna kick us off here.
Alrighty, so welcome guys to our new student check-in session. We are really happy to see you all here. And welcome to the program. You guys got in. Congratulations. I hope you've been settling into your first class. So this program, this session is just to get to know you guys and so you guys can get to know a little bit more about the program in depth and to address maybe any questions or concerns you have now that you've experienced it a little bit. So let's jump right in.
I forgot to introduce myself. You guys don't
Oh.
know me yet. I'm Adriana. I'm also one of your advisors. You've mostly been working with Minoska so far, but you'll get a chance to work with both of us throughout this program.
Yes. All right, so this is just a quick overview of what we're going to be discussing tonight. So we're going to go over some academic stuff, so what the structure of the program is like. We're going to be talking about a little bit about enrollment, how that works, and your finances and financial aid and all that good stuff. Fields education, what that is going to look like moving forward, whether you're in advanced standing or in the part-time regular track. We're also going to be talking about connecting to the UCF community. Um, the last slide that we're going to be going over is your professional identity as an MSW and what that's going to look like. Okay. And then you'll have time for questions at the end. All right. So some academic structure. So as I'm sure you're aware at this point, our courses run in 7-week terms, which means that you will be taking 2 courses per semester, and each course will only be 7 weeks. So, as you already know, it's pretty quick paced, right? It's a lot of information really fast, but the great thing is that you're at least just focusing on the one class at a time, right? Um, Please be aware that field will run the full length of a semester, so that there will be no breaks, in between field like there will be with your academic classes. It'll just be all throughout the semester, so you have time to complete your hours. Because it's so quick, the turnaround for these courses, if you feel like you're falling behind or you're overwhelmed or you have any concerns, please reach out to us as soon as possible so that we can, settle the issue or help you out or adjust your plan of study as needed. Next, so course registration. All of that is done through MyUCF. You'll see the courses that you need to register for, um, and you can add it to your shopping cart soon and save it for the coming semester. Um, I was able to help you guys register, or I got you guys registered this first semester. Moving forward, you will be responsible for registering yourself. So you're already registered for your term 1 class and your term 2 class now, but for spring 26, you will have to register yourself. Adriana will send you an email with your class options, exactly what you need to register for and how that's done. And that will be coming October 16th. So please check your UCF emails. You should be checking it always, but especially in the coming weeks. Okay, next, a little bit about Simple Syllabus. So Simple Syllabus is basically the platform where all of the core syllabi are housed. Even if you're not in the class yet, you have full access to all of those syllabi. So if you're curious about what the upcoming course that you have to take is going to be like, you can type in SOW, I don't know, 5404, just a random example, and the syllabus for that class should pop up. You have to be logged in with your UCF credentials in order to see that. Um, Please be sure that you are clicking all courses because when you log in, it auto populates to just your current course syllabi. So make sure you click all courses so you can see any course that you're interested in. And lastly, some quick student resources here. Of course, your success coach, Barbara Bush, which I've put her in multiple emails out to you guys. But if you don't have her contact information for whatever reason, you can reach out. She's basically like, Adriana likes to say, your cheerleader in the program, right? So you may have worked with her throughout the application process, but she's also accessible to you guys as students. She's really great and she can connect you to these resources and way more. Like she can help you with time management skills, She's someone to talk to about any upcoming experiences or courses, and she works so closely with you guys, with the students in that sense. Um, she's someone great to reach out to. You have full access to the UCF library, even though you're online. It's all housed in their online database. You just have to, again, log in with your UCF credentials. You also have access to the Writing Center. Your sessions will be via Zoom, so you can go ahead and schedule an appointment if you're interested. And you also have access to our assisted online therapy. And Adriana was kind enough to include the links in there if you're interested. And this will go out to you guys via email later. Okay, so a little bit more about enrollment. This is a part-time program only. So even though you might be enrolled in some semesters to be considered a full-time student, we are a part-time program only. So that does have some limitations with like scholarships and things like that. I know a lot of you work for the military, and they are always asking that or you need documents signed or something, or class verifications. So it's really important to know that we are a part-time program only. And this is also important for financial aid, especially. So each semester for financial aid, you do have to be enrolled in a specific amount of hours in order to receive aid. So during the summer, you have to be enrolled in at least three credit hours, excuse me. And in the fall and the spring semesters, you have to be enrolled in at least 4.5 credit hours to qualify for aid. We always do our best to adjust your plan of study if you need to take a break or if emergencies happen to make sure that you meet those requirements. But this is really important for you to know if an emergency comes up or you foresee you needing to take a break for whatever reason. Okay, so more about your finances. So our financial aid, our tuition deadlines, excuse me, run a little bit differently from the university schedule. I did send you guys all a copy of the academic calendar, but you can always access it on the advising portal as well. So please be sure to check those dates. It's really important for you to know that this first year, your tuition payment is due after the add drop period of term two, and the deadline is on Halloween, so October 31st. Hopefully, that'll be easy to remember. Um, so you might not see your aid dispersed until a little bit later. So don't be scared, it's coming. And you'll be fine anyways, because like I said, our deadlines are deferred. They're a little bit different from the UCF general deadlines. Um, our university or our program itself doesn't offer currently any scholarships for our students. However, you can always check UCF's graduate funding page. You can also check to see if there's any graduate assistantships available to you guys. I know that our college, the College of Health Professions and Sciences, always has scholarships available, but please read carefully the eligibility and qualifications because, again, not part-time students aren't always eligible for all of these scholarships. So it's really important for you to look. And if you have any questions, you can always email us. Either way, if we do see an opportunity available for you guys, we will be sure to send it your way via the advising portal or the Facebook. And your financial aid. So it's really important to have the 2025-2026 FAFSA filled out if that's something that you're going to be utilizing. If you've already done that, you can check your status and all of that good stuff on your MyUCF. Make sure to check your to-do list in case you started it and you have anything outstanding that you need to complete. Also in your MyUCF, you should be able to see an accept, decline, or adjust button or section. That way you can see exactly how much you're being awarded, what you're going to use in currently, if you're going to accept it, that sort of thing. And they'll be made available for this fall, spring, and summer semesters. Okay, and so yes, like I was mentioning earlier, aid will be released at different times, depending on, the semester that you're in. Um, and then tuition fees will be paid first. So any amount that you have remaining will go back to you. If you have any specific very specific questions pertaining to your situation. There's two people you can contact. You can contact Barbara Bush, your success coach. She has full access to your student account, to your student financial account. And we have another contact person that we can get you in touch with if necessary. But Barbara, unfortunately, we don't have full access to the financial side of your student account, so we can't see exactly what you're seeing. But Barbara does. We get a lot of questions about the money you're receiving, how much, that kind of thing. We can't see that. So definitely reach out to Barbara. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to add to that final part, Adriana.
No, we'll actually have a slide about Barbara coming up.
Mhm.
So if you want to jot down her contact information, but like Minoska said, we'll also send this out to you so you can have a copy of it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about field education. So for those of you in the part-time, the 3-year track, this isn't going to be something that you think about this semester, but it will become something that you think about soon. And if you're in advanced standing, then you have already been added to the field placement web course and maybe have been assigned someone to work with already and are getting that process started. But field education is something that can, if you haven't had any experience with it, it can make you anxious. It can give you these feelings like you don't know what's happening. But it's really just a supervised hands-on learning experience in an agency somewhere that serves the community, serves clients, so that you can put what you've learned in class into practice. So sometimes places call it a placement, some call it an internship, a practicum. We kind of use them interchangeably here, but the department is called Field Education, and Orlando Ramon is our Field Education Director, and Jill Davis is our Assistant Director. And these are the two people you'll want to know if you have any questions about what's happening in field. If you are a part-time in the 3-year track, you'll start getting information next semester. So around your second term, I believe, of your second semester, they'll reach out to add you to a placement web course where you'll fill out where you're located, what your interests are, that kind of thing, and they will assign you a field faculty member to work with on a placement. So if you're in that part-time, the 3-year track, you're going to have 2-year-long placements. Your first placement is going to be a generalist placement. You will be at the same site, the same location for 1 year, 3 semesters in the same place. And you're going to be doing entry-level social work. So that's a lot of information sharing, gathering resources, working with agencies that provide referrals in the community. So that could be a shelter, hotline. You might be working at tabling events, trying to get the word out about maybe a domestic violence shelter or some group like that. You'll be expected to complete 400 hours over the course of the year. You'll do that 150 in your first semester, 150 hours in your second, and 100 hours in your third, which averages about 8 to 10 hours per week. You will get a lot more information about field education as it nears your time to start. But we also have a really good module in the advising portal. If you have any questions about field education, it'll break down exactly what generalist means and clinical means and what kind of locations you could be placed at. So I really recommend checking that out when you have a chance. The second internship that you'll do is a clinical placement. And if you're in the advanced standing track, that's what you're starting in the spring. So clinical practice, you're going to have your own caseload. You're going to be taking on clients. You're going to have populations, groups, families, one-on-one sessions, working with clients. We have students who are placed at the VA, various hospitals, schools, residential facilities, substance abuse, addiction centers, behavioral health centers. There's a ton of placements out there, and we have students all across the United States doing placements. Clinical, you'll have to do 600 hours over the course of the year, and it's 200 hours each semester, which is an average of 10 to 14 hours per week. We ask you to be open to the possibility of being placed in a population that you might not thought you were interested in. So if you know for sure that you do not want to work with children, that's something to mention when you apply for field education. It's not saying that you won't have a placement with children, but it's something for our team to be aware of. For example, some people don't want to work in hospice. They don't think that that's the place for them. And so maybe they will have a chance to work somewhere else, but maybe they'll get the opportunity to try out what it's like in hospice. So we just ask that you're open to the possibility of something you might not have expected, because we have students, we have a lot of students who end up graduating and working at the agency where they interned. So there's a lot of cool things out there. So we ask you to just be open, and it's a really great experience. As an online student, it might feel difficult to be connected to the larger university base. So there's a few ways that we like to make you feel connected. One of those is our Student Association for MSW students. It's the MSWSA. The president of the MSWSA is actually an online MSW student. So she's doing a really great job of making sure that the opportunities exist for students who are on campus and online to participate in certain things. So I'd encourage you to check out their Instagram just to see what they're up to. And if you want to join, you can apply through Night Connect through that link. And there's a $10 membership fee, and you get a t-shirt if you join. We also have a Facebook group that is just students and alums of the online MSW. We don't have any faculty or any other staff other than Minoska and myself monitoring it. So you can feel pretty comfortable posting to other people. We have people who sell books, who ask for professor recommendations. We have a lot of people post jobs in their area, or, maybe if they're looking to do a study group virtually or in person in their area. It's just a great way to get connected to people who are in the program and who've already completed it. So we really encourage you to check that group out. But if you don't have Facebook, you won't be missing any important announcements, because we always make sure to post them to the advising portal as well. And the advising portal, you should have access to it through web courses. It's just a sort of database with a bunch of modules of important information that you might, it might be 11 o'clock at night and there's not anyone to ask. So if you go on there, you're going to be able to get your plan of study, the calendar, find out, if you want to know more about field education, you can review that module. There's a lot of stuff there. If you're thinking about clinical licensure, you can go take a peek at what that might mean. So that's a really important place to check out. We send a lot of announcements through there. That's where we let you know about events that are happening with the university, or if we're aware of a job opportunity or a scholarship, assistantship, something like that, we will post it there. So please be sure to be checking that, along with checking your UCF email. And something students like to know is that they can get an ID card even if they're not local to the campus. So we can have one mailed to you for $5. If you go ahead and click that link, you can send a picture and they'll send you out a student ID card so you can get discounts at movies and different places. So it's good to have. Here's Barbara. Barbara is the success coach. And sometimes when we talk about a success coach and advisors, it's not really clear who helps with what. So this is our way to kind of let you know. Barbara is here to help you with things that are not specific to academics. So if you have questions about applying for financial aid, or how to get it, how to accept your offer, those things, or you want to see where you are in the process, Barbara is the person to ask. I don't encourage you to go right to financial aid, because there's long wait times on the phone. It's always very busy, but Barbara is able to look up your specific account, and she's very familiar with our unique deferred payment deadline and all those details about us that somebody who's just answering the phone over at the financial aid office might not be. She's also really great at helping you set goals and achieve them. So she knows that a lot of our students are wanting to be social workers, but what does that mean? What do you want to do with your degree? So she's somebody who can help you connect with career services that offer a lot of services online to students. And she can help you navigate kind of what's the best way to use it. Should you attend a resume drop-in session, or should you go to this webinar? So she's a great person to talk to about that stuff. And also just juggling what it means to, be in an MSW program with regular life. and adding internship in it. Studying again, if you've been out of school for a while, she can help with time management, study skills, that kind of stuff. So we really encourage you guys to reach out to her. You might have met her through the application process, but as Minoska said earlier, she can really help you from the time that you enter the program through graduation. Then we can help you with the academic stuff. So if you have questions about our academic policies, like, oh no, I got a C in this class, what does that mean? Am I going to get kicked out? No, that's the answer. But if you have a question like that, especially reach out to us if you have anything going on in a semester that might impact your performance in the class. So maybe you got into a car accident and you think, okay, I can probably still go to classes there online and submit stuff, but you notice like maybe you need an extension or something like that. Reach out to us as soon as possible, and we can help you navigate that with your instructor and give you any available, if there's a withdrawal deadline hasn't passed yet, we can talk to you about your options there. If you have any questions about your plan of study, we're the ones that you want to talk to. If you find yourself needing to take a break or you're having a baby or a medical procedure, and you want to know how you can work that into your program, we're the ones who can help you figure out, well, we'll move this class here or we'll delay the start of field by a semester. We'll help you work that out. And then anything to do with registration, enrollment, ads, drops, withdrawals, that's all us. So you want to be sure to reach out to us if you have any questions related to academic things. In your classes, if you have questions about assignments or deadlines, things like that, that's a question for your instructor directly. So in the syllabus, they'll have their preferred contact method. So reach out to them, of course, with anything specific to the course. And then the MSW program is a professional program. That means there is a national code of ethics that we adhere to, and we expect our students to conduct themselves in a professional way. The ways that you can develop your own professional identity within the program that we encourage are collaborating with your peers. Some of them have been working in the field for decades. Some of them are coming from totally different fields. So it's great to connect with the people in your cohort or outside of your cohort, but in the program, to network or just get to know people who might be in your area or not in your area. Engage with your instructors. So a lot of times we have students during the application process who say that they took online classes and they didn't really get a chance to know their instructors. So when it comes time for letters of recommendation, they might have a hard time. So I really encourage you guys to connect with your instructors. If you're currently in 5107, which is the first part-time class, human behavior in the social environment, excuse me, I know that that can be really intense in terms of reading, and you're not doing a lot of interaction with your cohort mates or your instructor, but still try to find ways where you reach out to the instructor. Maybe you go to their office hours or you make an appointment to go over an assignment with them, but get to know them. Most of our adjuncts work in the field currently, and a lot of our instructors have experience working in the field, not just through education. So they're really, they have a wealth of knowledge. They do various research projects. It's really good to get to know them and see what their areas of interest are, and maybe they align with yours and you can work on something cool together. We encourage you to embody the code of ethics in your coursework and fieldwork. We are a professional program again, and that's going to be something that comes up in every syllabus that you have. Any time that we meet with like an academic committee, anything like that, we're going to push that code of ethics because that is the manual that social workers live their professional life by. And so we expect that in our students. Not necessarily within the program, but alongside it, we encourage you to seek out professional development opportunities. We will share any that we're aware of, like lectures, webinars, any conferences that we're aware of. We encourage you to attend those. Pay attention to what's happening in your community. When you apply for field education, you'll tell the field department where you're located, and they may ask you, are you aware of any agencies that might have need for an intern? Are you aware of any projects that are going on in your community that there are agencies serving? So keep an eye out. Look for what's happening in your area. Network with members of your local NASW chapter. I've included the link there so you can, it lists every state, and if you click on it, you can find the local chapters. A lot of them have discounts for students joining, so it's good to check it out. And we really encourage you, if you are thinking about licensure after graduation, and this is a program that gears you towards that licensure, look into what the licensure requirements are in the state that you're in or that you're looking to be licensed in before you graduate. That way you can see if they require a human sexuality course. That's not part of our core curriculum, but it is a course that you could take as an elective. So things to be aware of as you're moving through the program. I really encourage you to click that link, and it'll go state by state and you can see the requirements for each state. We can also help you a little bit if you have trouble finding out what a certain state needs. You can reach out to us. I'll say you can reach out to me specifically because I do a lot of the licensure work, and just say, I need some help. I can't really figure out what Iowa needs for me to be licensed as a clinician, and we are happy to help with that. And so that's the end of our chatter. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and you guys open it up for everybody to ask any questions you might have. You can feel free to type them in the chat, or you can unmute yourselves, come off the video, whatever you'd like to do. We are here to help.
Hi, I'm in the dark here.
Hi.
Hi, I have a question for you. At the beginning of Minoska's remarks, she mentioned that when you're placed in a field placement, you go straight through. So you don't, for example, the break between our first course and our second course, we have like a 10-day break that you work through that break. Do you also work through the winter break?
Not
Like,
necessarily. So you will work that out directly with the agency to which you're
okay,
assigned. A lot of them are aware that students have a winter break that is very long. So, usually you don't work between semesters at your internship. But if they have a special project that's happening, like let's say over the summer, between summer and fall, you might be asked to work over that time, but they're also aware that you have a job or you have a family or you have a life. So when you have your internship meeting, your interview, and you set up your schedule, they'll want to know, how long will you
okay,
be here? When are you available? And that's one of the things that we encourage you to say, hey, we have a 10-day break in here. Maybe I've planned a trip. Will that work during that time? So it really is dependent on your location.
I understand. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
A chat question, I think. With the October 16th email about registration coming up, will we receive information about clinical electives as well? Yes, maybe. If your cohort is going for an elective, I will absolutely list all of the elective options for your cohort. I send out a pretty detailed email about exactly which courses are available, who's teaching them, and then let you know, if you can choose between these three sections, or we only have two options here, depending on the cohort. I don't think any of you will be taking an elective in the spring, but I will send that email out every semester. So just prior to registration opening, you'll get other emails from UCF main campus. We kind of ask you to skim those. And if you see my name or Minoska's name, really read those. Those are specific to online MSW. We do have slightly different dates than the main campus. So anything that we send you is specific to us, and that's the correct information. So none of you will be taking an elective in the spring, but you have core classes that you'll be taking instead. But when you have the chance to take an elective, I will provide you with all of the opportunities. And if you want to see what potential electives there might be, That's on our graduate catalog, and we can include a link when we send out all the information. So you can go take a look and read the course descriptions if you want to see what electives may be available to you.
I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, hold on, I have the academic calendar. Give me 1 second, sorry. On the academic calendar, it said graduation would be May 7th, 2026. And by that time, the internship and everything should be complete, correct?
So that is there's a graduation every semester because
Okay.
our cohorts start every semester. So you guys all started in fall 2025, but we have students who started in spring 23 and who might be preparing for graduation. So whatever your plan of study says, the very last semester that's listed. So for those of you in the advanced standing track, that would be fall 2026. Your graduation is in December. If you are in the fall 2025 cohort, Minoska, help me. I'm trying to do that math. It would be fall, spring, summer of 25, 26, 27. So it'll be different than what you saw on the current calendar because graduation will not be available for you quite yet. You won't hit all your requirements by May. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
And throughout the semesters, we'll have drop-in sessions where you can come and ask any questions if you have something like this, but less formal, no presentation. We'll also have one as you get closer to graduation to help you understand about applying for graduation and what to do after you graduate. So keep an eye out. We'll send those invitations periodically to give you an opportunity to sort of connect like this with us and to ask any questions that you might have. And we're pretty flexible. We're available, via phone, email, Zoom, whatever you need. And I know that everybody is in sort of a different time zone. So if you need something that's not between the traditional 8 to 5, Eastern Standard Time, just let us know and we're happy to accommodate.
And Adriana, you did say that you all would be sending the PowerPoint
Yes.
to us. Okay, with the links that were in. Okay.
Yeah, we'll send the recording of this session as well as a copy of the presentation so you can actually click all those links that we showed.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Ah, Fellini. Okay. So you might have been added to something called the Foundations of Interprofessional Collaborative Practice on Web Courses. This is brand new this semester, and we are not super familiar with it because it's not run by social work specifically. What we can do is we can find out that information for you and let you know. I wouldn't worry about it. It's not going to, result in any holds on your account or anything that would prevent you from continuing in the MSW as your, plan shows you. It's an additional sort of enhanced experience that allows you to work with other departments in the College of Health Professions. So we also have a physical therapy program, athletic training, health sciences, kinesiology, and they do some collaborative practice. Some courses that you have may have an assignment that you can get extra credit or that requires some sort of interprofessional experience. But we're just kind of doing this now and we're learning about it. So if you see that on your dashboard in web courses, it's okay for it to be there, but you don't have to worry if you don't understand what it's saying. It'll be discussed in the class that it's coming up in. But we will find an answer for you that's a little bit less convoluted than what I just said because we're still learning too. So when we send out this email to you, we'll be sure to include a note about that. And you might see a lot of stuff on your dashboard in web courses. You'll be added to something called Pressures to Plagiarize, which is a mandatory module that you need to complete in order to avoid having a hold on your account. And it's basically just hey, this is what plagiarism is. This is kind of what it looks like if you do this in your papers. Don't do this. These are the resources to help you avoid that. Or if you're confused about it, here's how to get some help about it. So that just sort of appears on your dashboard, and they usually have you do it within the first semester of the program. So keep an eye out for that, and it should be very clear what the deadline is, but they don't tell us. So if you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out and we can find out. But you might just see it pop up at some point. So I know we've given you a lot of information, you know, please feel free to digest it and come back to us with any questions you might have later. We'll hang out for a few more minutes, but that's the end of our portion of things. We're happy to set up times to meet with you individually if you'd like. But it was nice to see you all this evening. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Well, great night.
Thank you.
Can I ask you one more question?
Of course.
Sorry, I'm still here. I think it was called on one of your slides, therapy assisted online.
Yeah.
What is that? I know I could Google it, but
No, it's fine. So students that are just in online programs don't have access to the traditional counseling and psychological services on campus,
okay.
but they do have access to this therapy assisted online. So say you're going through a period of grief. You might go onto that website and click on grief as the list of topics, and it'll give you a bunch of online resources or modules that you can walk through on your own time to
Oh,
help you
interesting.
with that issue. And it might refer you then to other sources that you can seek out in your area, but
Okay.
it's sort of an alternative for students who aren't able to access those services here on campus.
That's great that you have something for fully online students. It's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a couple of things that they're working out, like a peer counseling
Mhm.
thing. So there are a few more resources if you click on that link that you can check out if you're interested.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
And Minoska, it's nice to meet you. I called you last week or the week before, and I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember, but we chatted
Yes,
briefly. So
I do. I
nice,
recognized you right away.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's great to meet you as well. We don't often get to see you guys face to face like this, so it's nice to see you.
I know. I was wondering, I'm going to be coming up to Orlando a couple times a year to see one of my friends. So I was thinking if I'm up there on a weekday, I could try to pop in and say hi to some people, but I don't know if that's weird or
No,
No, we
we're
love it.
happy. Yeah.
Social work. We're all on the same hallway. So like if you wanted to see an instructor or something, or
yeah,
feel free.
I might just like to come see,
Yeah. It's your campus too. So come and
Mhm.
use the resources or just come spend
Yeah.
some time.
Yeah, I might do that. Well, thank you. I won't hold you up anymore, but thanks for your help.
Have a great
Thanks
night.
for joining us.
You too. Have a good evening.
Bye.